Well, the RBA lifted rates to an 11-year high yesterday, and the tough news for homeowners is rates are likely to rise again. We are sounding like a broken record and have been for about 12 months now, haven't we? Joining us now, the Executive Chairman of Yellow Brick Road Home Loans, Mark Bouris. Mark, you've been critical for a while now, and what are your thoughts now? We've gone up to 4.1.
Yeah, well, that's totally unexpected. If you had asked anybody, where they thought the rate's going to go a year ago or even 6 months ago, they never would have said 4.1. 4.1 has become the more popular number in the last 30 days, off the back of that 6.8% inflation, yearly inflation number that we got served up a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, so how high do we go now? Have you changed your sums? Has Governor Lowe spooked you a bit?
Well, no, what he's done, he spooked me for sure, but what he's done is gone against what I consider to be the consensus opinion in relation to what interest rates should be doing. So, therefore, he's shown that he is prepared and willing and able, of course, to do whatever he wants outside of what everybody's expecting. So, you know, what concerns me most about this, Peter, is that he's looking at inflation at 6.8%, which is the inflation for the last 12 months. That is adding inflation every month for the last 12 months, going back to April last year or May last year, and adding up every month. So if you look at inflation for the month of April in 2022 and compare it to the inflation for the month of April in 2023, it's exactly half in 2023. So that tells me something. That tells me that inflation has actually come down quite a lot. But if you go back and add every single month from April 23 to April 22, you're going to get a much higher inflation number than we actually are really experiencing. So for me, I'm calling it a wrong move. Sure, I'm calling for what it is. It's wrong. It's badly timed and it's wrong.
We're coming in for a harder economic landing now, Mark. Is a recession becoming more likely?
And I think it's in terms of probabilities, statistical probabilities, I think we are definitely looking at recession as a greater than a 50% chance. So, and then that's because of that last interest rate rise, but more importantly what it will be, which we haven't heard anybody talk about yet, and he was willing to talk about this in 2022, but we haven't heard him talk about this. How long were these high interest rates going to last for? Like, dude, get up and tell us, are we going to have these for the next 12 months, the next 18 months? You know, you told us it was going to be 2024 before. Give us a bit of insight as to how long
I have to tell you, I reckon Lowe does not have the best form when it comes to predictions. So I reckon he's going to be keeping his powder dry on that front.
Well, this is the time to start doing it, though. Like, it's time now to sort of say, look, I reckon at least for the next 6 months, because we've got to give people a bit of an idea. Borrowers need to know, how long do I have to hunker down for in this environment, and how long am I going to have the pressure on me? And talk to each other and your partners and your family and your kids and whatever, and say, listen, it's going to be tough for the next 6 months, 12 months, whatever. At least give us some idea, or maybe sit there with the Treasurer and the Prime Minister and the three of you, three-out us, and give us a big address to the nation, it's in the national interest, 7:30 on Sunday night or something, and talk about it and give us some insights. Yeah,
I mean, you reckon there's a rift emerging now? I mean, Jim Chalmers is not going to be liking this, because very, very soon he's going to start getting the blame for all of this. They can only avoid it for so long. I mean, do you think they're on the same page?
No, I don't. I actually think there was a very subtle kick in the ribs to Jim Chalmers in the last paragraph, where it said that, you know, the recent wage rise pressure and wage rise increases, which is the wage rise that the Commission gave to 25% of the population, who basically sit at the bottom of the socioeconomic rung, that 5.8% increase. It sounds like a lot, but 5.8% increase on those people's wages isn't a lot. They're not the sort of people who spend like drunken sailors. They're the sorts of people who are paying too high a rent right now, or alternatively, and haven't had a wage rise for a long time, or alternatively are paying a really high mortgage rate. So they're not going out, they're not going to go out and start pushing inflation up.
Yeah, right.
Wrong people, wrong discussion. Like, Jim Chalmers was right in what he said last night, but I also like to see Jim sort of patch things up, produce the olive branch, and sort of work the dude over and get him to get together and start to work together on this.
Mark Bouris, good to see you, as always. We'll talk to you soon.
See you, Pete.